Alrighty, it is now recording. Okay, so Courtney and I are very excited about this topic tonight because it was something that we have gone through time and time again in this business, but I feel like it will allow us, with everything that's going on in the world right now, it will allow us to focus on the positive and the things that can keep us moving forward and keep us focused on the bigger picture of this business and how ultimately we get to be the light. That is what we do with our business. We use social media as a platform of positivity, which I think the world needs as much as possible these days, because I feel like we're not catching a break in 2020 with everything that keeps happening. So I think it gives us that much more power to spread joy and happiness and health, because the world needs it right now. So what I wanted to start by saying is, what is your mission with coaching? Like, it's okay if it's just to help people, but really think about what your mission could be with coaching. What is something that it is doing for you, being a part of these programs, of these nutrition plans and things like that? What is it, do you feel like it's doing to change you on the inside? And that can become your mission, this bigger picture of being able to take what you have been through and the success that you have seen, and being able to basically wrap that up in a pretty little package, tie a little bow on top, and gift that to others. Because I feel like in times when there's struggle, when there is negativity, when you are having an off week or an off month or whatever, I feel like being tied to that mission makes you keep moving forward no matter what. And I say this a lot because I feel like it has been what has kept me steadfast since day one of coaching, because I saw this bigger picture, and while it has changed and it has evolved, that is the one thing that has always kept me focused moving forward, and not letting struggles or ups and downs, ins and outs, keep me from doing what I feel like I was called to do. So once you have kind of like established and given thought to what your mission is, I have to ask, do you believe in it? Do you believe in with your heart, whole heart and soul, that that is something you feel you are called to do? Whether it's just in a small scale, a bigger scale, whatever, like, do you feel like you believe in what you have to offer someone? Because when you do, like I said, that will keep you moving forward. That will make the nose kind of brush off your shoulder, and will really help keep you focused. So I feel once you have that kind of mindset and that mission and that belief established, it kind of builds the foundation of your business, of your fitness, of your personal life too. And then it allows you to keep kind of building on that foundation. It's like your rock, basically. And I feel like once you have that established, then you can go into this business the same way you would parenting, schooling, or anything big and worthwhile achieving in life, and know that there are going to be times that you're going to fail. There are going to be times that you are going to struggle. You're going to have ups, and then you're going to have slow and steady, and then you're going to have downs. But seeing this bigger picture in this mission and having this belief will keep you going through all of it. So the reason I bring up parenting is because you have to show up every single day once you become a parent. You have to know that you are going to get spit up on. You're going to have food thrown at you. You're going to, at some point, be screamed at, maybe cursed at, maybe have a door slammed in your face. There are going to be times that you yourself are going to scream and you're going to lose control. But you don't give up. You don't stop parenting. You don't give up on that child. You keep nurturing them. You keep pouring love and hope and belief into them, because you know that someday, even if it's 20 years down the road, it is going to pay off. And I think of that for those of you that aren't parents, I think of schooling too. Like there's going to be times you're not going to get the grade that you want on a test. There's going to be times where a teacher will tell you that you're not smart enough, or that bully in school will tell you that you're stupid or you're ugly, or, you know, whatever. But do you let those things allow you to quit? Or do you just think, okay, like, I've got this, like, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. I know that I need to keep moving forward. So I just have to kind of cast away all that negativity, all that doubt, all those fears, and just keep moving forward. Because like I said, when you can do that, you will keep going no matter what, and you will not be tempted to quit. And the reason I share this is because, and I know Courtney can attest to this too, I have been a coach in September 25th, I'll be a coach for 5 years. And I feel like all through my coaching journey, every time I have had a down moment or a quote unquote failure, I could have very easily quit in that moment. I could have said, okay, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel and I'm moving on. Like I just can't do this anymore. It's just too much stress on me. It just makes me feel so down on myself. I don't think that I'm good enough and all these things. But instead, what I have done is I have taken all of those setbacks, and instead of allowing them to force me into quitting in this business, I've used them as a sign from God that there's something I'm not doing right, and that I need to use that like kind of valley as a way to really assess what I'm doing, maybe make some changes, maybe shift things around a little bit, lean into the community that we have with our teams. Anytime that happens with me, I've always gone to my coach and been like, hey, can you do a critique of my social media and let me know if there's something I'm not doing right? Because sometimes we get inside our own heads and we put ourselves in this little box, and it's really hard to think outside of the box. So don't ever hesitate when you get in that moment where you feel stuck and you feel like you're in a rut, to not come to your coach or someone else on our team or your success partner or whatever, and lean into them and ask them for really hard constructive criticism. Like I've always told my coach, I was like, give it to me straight, because I'm not going to be able to learn and change and grow if you're not 100% honest with me. And she knows I cling to tough love. Like that's how I was raised. My dad was very like nose to the grind. Like he never sugarcoated anything with us in life. And so it has allowed me to be able to handle that and use it to move myself forward. And I feel like when you can take those setbacks and use them as your set-ups, then it will allow you to see more success in this business. It will build confidence. It will build belief not only within what we have to offer, but also within yourself. And you will come back stronger and really lay more bricks on that foundation of your business. And I last month had this moment where I was feeling that struggle. I was like, come on, we've got like this $20 off sale. Why am I not getting more people to sign up? Like, is my messaging kind of like misconstrued? And am I not being clear enough with what I am trying to attract, or the type of people I'm wanting to bring into this business with me? And so I kind of had a little bit of a breakdown. I started crying. I got emotional. And I really was doubting myself. I was like, okay, like, why is no one wanting to connect with me? Like, why am I getting more no's or more ghosts and things like that? And so instead of throwing my own pity party, I went to Courtney, and I went to, on my team, my coach has like a leadership pod on Marco Polo, which is like a video messaging app. And it's all of her like Diamond, Star Diamond, everybody on our team. We chat like every single day. And I came to them, I was like, okay, guys, like I was crying because I was just like, I was seeing all of them having this success. And while I wasn't comparing myself to them, I was like, why are things not clicking for me? Like, why am I feeling like I'm stuck when I felt like my team had this momentum going and I feel like things were just like stopping? And I asked them to like go critique my page. I said, if there's anything you guys think I need to be doing more of, please let me know. I said, because I don't like feeling this way. I don't like feeling like I'm not a good enough leader for my team. I even came on my team page and did a live video sharing this with them as well. And they gave me constructive criticism. Like, they were harsh. They're like, I feel like you're leaning a little bit too much into the mom role in your life, and I don't think that's the type of people you want to attract, because you're not like the stereotypical mom. And I took all that criticism they gave me. There's probably 4 or 5 of the women that came back to me and gave me some real hard tips and things that they thought that I could do better with my messaging and with my branding and different things like that. You know, like, I'd been stuck at home for 2 months in quarantine, and it's really hard to, like, when you feel physically trapped, to get out of like that mental state of feeling like you're also trapped. Like, I was having a hard time seeing my world outside of being a mom, because that was like, I wasn't getting outside of that world at all. And so that's why I came to these ladies and I asked them for some really, really constructive criticism, and they gave it to me. And so I took everything they said in stride. I kind of made some mental notes of things that I could work on, and then I slept on it. And then the next day I woke up and I had like this fire lit inside me. I was like, okay, like, I took what they said, I looked at what I've been doing, and I got a really, really clear picture of the type of women I wanted to attract. And I came into our Marco Polo, and I shared this with Courtney as well, because we Marco Polo too. And I told them exactly the type of woman I wanted to attract. And I was like, you know, chills running down your spine, like almost about to well up with tears. Like, I could feel in my heart, like, this is what I needed. And I sat down and just started writing, pen to paper, like the type of things that I wanted. And here's what I came up with. First, I shared it with them in Marco Polo, and then I shared this that I wrote with them, and I told them exactly like the type of people I am drawn to on social media. And if I am drawn to those kind of people, those are the kind of people that I want on my team. And I thought of like women that like do CrossFit. Like, I am not drawn to skinny women at all. I am drawn to strong women, like women that could kick your ass type of women. Like, no joke. Like, people that are not intimidated by men, because that's how I've always been. When I worked out in the weight room, I would get in there with the guys, and I didn't care if I was the only tiny little petite girl in there. I would be repping out weights with them. I was on the squat rack next to the football team in high school. Like, I have never been intimidated by guys and being in that setting in the gym. And so I was like, those are the kind of women I want to attract. So here's what I wrote down. I said, I want to help women who have overcome something that would have completely broken most, because that is a lot of what I see on my team. I have women that have overcome anxiety, depression, sometimes alcoholism, domestic abuse, like all those different things that literally would have like ruined someone, but they have used it as like their kind of setup to come back stronger than they had ever been before, or that most people would have ever come back from, you know. I want to provide women with the tools to take their circumstances, and instead of being defined by them, they choose to be empowered because of them. I want to work with women who aren't intimidated by guy things like lifting heavy, taking ownership of their business, being challenged in any and all aspects of life, the type of woman that rises to the occasion. I want to surround myself with women who know that feeling strong will always trump looking skinny. I want to encourage women to always remember that anything worth having, muscle, dreams, goals, achievements, comes from serious efforts and stamina. I want women who feel stretched thin and weakened by the changes of motherhood to know that the woman they were before is still in there beckoning to break through the barriers and flex her strength. I want a team who believes confidently in what we have to offer and works diligently every day to distance herself from the woman of her past and knows there are more of her out there, and that's who we show up for. So it's just kind of like this crystal clear picture of like the type of woman that I see on our team coming into our challenge groups and different things like that. And they might not always be there yet, but that person is inside them and they're trying to get out. And I want to be able to help them do that. And I feel like all of us can have this vision of who we want to help. Granted, not every woman that comes into my challenge group is going to fit that criteria. And normally those women that don't fit that criteria don't stick with it long term. I hate to say it, but I'm there to touch their life and to try to bring them to that place. But if that's not in the cards for them, or if they don't stay consistent, or they don't give this the full shot that it deserves, then that's probably not going to happen for them. And I'm okay with that, because long term, I have this goal of the type of women I see surrounded by me in a team picture on a beach or wherever we have a team retreat, and they are strong women. And those are the kind of people I want to attract. And so I'm slowly but surely kind of changing my brand into what I want it to be. I'm trying to gear my posts more towards that mindset of strength over skinny, of being empowered and not feeling conquered by life. And all those different things are kind of what I want to encompass within my own business, with my image, with my brand, and with the type of women that I bring onto my team. And I look around at the women on my team, and that is what I see. I see a lot of that. But I think they've been drawn to me because they've seen that within me. And I have done a good job in the past of posting to that. But over the last couple months, I've kind of like gotten in a mind funk, and I just needed to kind of reset and refocus and write out some things that helped me get really crystal clear on where I wanted to be and the type of women I wanted to bring into this journey with me. So that image is going to evolve as you evolve in this business, and that's okay. But I think taking the time to sit down, get some constructive criticism, or ask your coach, like, we can see things in you guys that you probably cannot see in yourself. Like, that's why we're your coach. Like, coaches never stop needing coaches. Like, that's why we're all in this together. That's why we are called Team Beachbody. So you really have to lean into this community and come to people when you are struggling and you feel like you are losing your focus, and ask them for help. Because if you don't, and if you keep keeping to yourself, then guess what? You're not being a part of a team. You're trying to do things on your own, and we are not as strong on our own as we are when we link arms with each other. So remember that, and come to whoever you need to come to, whoever you feel comfortable talking to, that you know will not sugarcoat things and tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And then take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And then sit down and do what you have to do, and just start putting pen to paper, and just like think of like if you have to, look at a picture of someone and just like start writing things down of what you see or what you want to see. Because we all have this image that is ours, and this story that is ours and no one else's. And I think once we can kind of laser focus in on that type of person that is us, or that is us before, or that is us now, and trying to see that in other women and trying to bring them to this place where they can come out of the darkness and into the light, it's really, really cool. And I feel like for me, if I was posting and just kind of like using being a mom as like my brand, yes, I am with my girls all the time, but I do not bake. I do not craft. I do not go to school parties. I am not like the stereotypical stay-at-home mom. And so getting that criticism was exactly what I needed to hear. And they're like, it's okay to say that you are the reason you have these goals, that you are the reason that you work out every day. Yes, maybe your daughters inspired you to start, but you wanted this for you, and that's okay. And so really think about where you want to be and why you or what your mission is with coaching. And then I think that will help you allow everything else to kind of fall into place. And sometimes it takes prayer, sometimes it takes lots of personal development, but I think leaning into the community and leaning into your own strengths will help you get there. So, oh, and I couldn't find it. I tried looking it up, but based on the title, I couldn't figure it out. But one thing I listened to was probably almost 2 years ago, and I might still have the notes for it saved in my phone. But Melanie Mitro did a podcast on her Women Inspiring Women podcast, and she asked some very good questions that helped me get to this point a couple years ago I think it was maybe before I had my second daughter. And I think I'm going to look and see if I have it. And that was a podcast that helped me like really think outside the box and get to that place of who I wanted to attract. All right. I'll let Courtney throw her 2 cents in, and I'm going to try to see if I can find that note.
So we could basically end the call now because Elena just nailed everything. She's so good at like vision and everything. And while I'm always focused like on the vision and on the why, I'm so like action driven. And I feel like not only do we have to have that vision and know exactly where we're going, but we have to know what actions to take as well. So a couple things that Elena mentioned is like we run our own businesses and we wear many hats as humans naturally. So like maybe we're a mom, maybe we work a corporate job, maybe, you know, we're a fur mom, or maybe we're a wife, or, you know, whatever it is, we can't just quit that life because of craziness that's going on in our life, right, in the world. Like for example, today, I had a really rough day with my little one. And I don't know why she was spilling everything and she wasn't doing her homework right. I told her to redo her homework 5 times. I gave her 2 timeouts. I was like ready to, it was like not even noon yet. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to be done for the day, right? But you can't be done as a mom. You still have to be a mom. You still have to go to your corporate job, whether you're working from home or whether you're an essential employee. You know, you still have to do the things regardless of what's going on in your life, whether it's a crazy kid or a crazy world that we live in. And the same goes for your business. So one thing I remembered, I think it was last year when I was really having a hard time with my business and I actually almost quit. But I was talking to one of my corporate mentors and I was telling her my struggles and she was like, you know what? Just decide to quit, go off and cry, and come back tomorrow with the right head on your shoulders and get back to work. And that's pretty much what I did. I quit for the day. I went in my corner and cried, threw a little pity party, and I came back to work that very next day, just ready to work, ready to focus. And sometimes that's what you have to do when you have a bad day. You have to just take some time away. Maybe you have to cry. Maybe you have to ugly cry, and that's totally fine. You know what I mean? Same thing as a mom. Maybe you just have to like, honey, here's the kids. I need some time alone. Like, it's life, right? But don't completely disappear. That's what you don't want to do, is completely fall off the grid. Can't do that as a mom. If you do that at your corporate job, you're probably going to get fired. And even as a coach, you have people that are watching you and depending on you. And so you don't want to disappear, because if you disappear, your people are going to think, oh, well, if she disappears, well, maybe it's okay for me to disappear too. So that's one thing, is just don't disappear. And if you're struggling, maybe you need to just share that and talk it out, whether it's with your audience, whether it's with your spouse or a friend, a BFF or whatever. talk about it, share about it on your page. Maybe other people are going through the exact same thing as you, and maybe they can even offer some help, okay? But just don't close up and completely like fall away, because that's not good for you either. One thing I did yesterday, because I was having an emotional day yesterday. I couldn't get in the right mindset to connect with people, and that's okay, because life is crazy, right? So what I did yesterday is I set myself up for success today, tomorrow, the next day, and for the rest of June. So one thing my corporate mentor told me is, she says, you don't need to build your following. This is me. I'm not telling you to do this. Okay. She's like, you have 11,000 followers. Those are all people that you need to be connecting with. And that kind of little light bulb. And it's like, okay, I need to go through all these followers and basically invite them, right, to either be a coach on my team or to join my boot camp. So yesterday, that's what I was doing. I was going through all of my Ks. I go through the alphabet in my following, and I write down all the people that look like they're kind of my people. And so I went through and I wrote all these names down from Instagram, pages and pages of names. So I have a list to work from now. You know, I could have just done nothing yesterday and have no list to go off of today, but that's one thing that I did. So it's kind of just not necessarily having conversations with people when you're having a really bad day, but maybe you're creating that contact list for the next day or the next day. Okay, so just like little actions that you can be doing to build your business. Another thing, so that was number 2. Number 1 was don't disappear. Number 2 was make your list of connects. So that's just what I did yesterday. Number 3 is just share your heart. Whatever you're going through in life, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, feel free to share it, but share it in a very positive way. And I know that sounds kind of contradictory, especially when you're having a bad day, but you don't want to flood your feed with negativity, because to be honest, y'all, there is too much negativity on our feed as it is right now. Okay, so again, we want to be those lights, and regardless, our life isn't perfect, but we still want to be the light, and we still want to share our struggle, but maybe how are we going to overcome that struggle, right? So kind of problem solve in your post as well. So like, you know, maybe I'm having a really hard day today with my little one. And so what I actually did, I was like, you know, maybe she's going through something too. You know, I don't know what's going through her head. So I just sat down, had a little talk with her, gave her a hug and just talked with her, played a game with her. And then she was fine for the rest of the day. You never know what's going on unless you talk about it. Like maybe she just needed mommy time and now she's fine. You know what I mean? Okay, number 4. So say you just had a really, really bad day and you didn't do any types of connections. Like you just needed a mental health day, like totally fine. Sometimes we need to do that. This is what you can do the next day, is just completely double your workload. Sounds kind of crazy, especially if you already 10x your stuff. Like that's what I'd be doing. Okay, if I'm making 100 connects every single day, you better believe I'm gonna be making 200 connects that following day. So if you're doing 5 connects, totally fine. Do 10 the next day. If you're doing 15, do 30 the next day. Whatever that number is, just make sure that you're doing it, and you'll catch up, and that's totally fine too. And kind of going in line with that too, this is going to be number 5, is if you're just having a really, really bad day, maybe you don't really want to just take a complete day off, because usually that's not how I am. I'm like, you know, again, I'm really action driven. Like I have to be doing something. It's very rare that you'll see me like sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing, because I don't know if it's my OCD or whatever it is, but I have to be doing something. I'm moving, I'm always doing something. So if you're like that, do like the very bare minimums. Like our I don't even see where it is right now. It's under all my piles, but the tracker is the bare minimum, you guys. It's the bare minimum. Okay, I think it says like 5 invites, or maybe it's 10 invites. Just do the minimums, you guys, just so that you're creating that consistency and that momentum in your business. Just do the bare minimum so you're not doing nothing, because the nothing compounds, right? So if you didn't do nothing yesterday, oh, maybe it's okay to do nothing today. And then you do nothing the next day and the next day and the next day. Same thing with your fitness and your nutrition. It just falls off if you do nothing. So that's why you want to keep doing the little bits, and it'll keep you growing. And then Elena already touched on, leaning into your vision and your why. I can't express that enough and speak on that enough, is you got to know where you're going. You have to know where you want to go 1 year from now, 5 years from now in this business. Because if you don't know where you're going, you're not going to go anywhere. So remember where you're going. And then lastly, we spoke about it already, is just to lean into the community. That's what we're here for. We're family. I call us family all the time because that is truly, truly what you guys are to me. You are my besties and my family, and I love you all, and we're here for each other, right? We're here to link arms together, cry together, laugh together, be angry together. We're all here to be together. So hopefully that helps. That's all I got.
And drink wine together.
And drink wine.
Like
yes.
on Friday when we have another wine night.
Okay. I'm sweating. Woo!
I am too. I put on a shirt just for this call, so I didn't have my pajama shirt on. I'm like, ooh, might not be so fresh.
It might need another shower. Any questions about anything, or concerns or comments or anything you want to share?
Anything you're trying to work through?
I got a question.
Yeah.
And I'm a mess. I'm in the middle of eating. I apologize. But my question is, I posted my, my first big, post. Like I posted, a bunch of other things before and stuff, but this was my first like big coach post. I got a lot of likes, but I was very direct on my post about like commenting, like, commenting or messaging me if they were interested. So I don't want to, necessarily, like ask if they're interested since they liked it when I was really direct about like commenting or messaging me. Baby, stop. And so I, what I mean? Like, I don't want people that are following me to stop liking my stuff, and stop following the stuff if I like am too assertive, or not assertive, but like, does that make sense?
This is what I would suggest you doing. One, don't care about what they think, because if they're watching it, they're interested in some way. Social media has made people be very indirect about what they want in their lines of communication. So sometimes a like is them saying they want more information. They just feel bold enough to put it out there where the public eye can see that they want that information. And sometimes a lot of people are they'll have that initial, like, they'll like it because initially they're like, yes, I love this. Like, I love this idea. But then to take that next step to message you, fear will sometimes get in the way from them doing so. So what I would suggest you do is just go to them, say, thank you so much for liking my post about, and then give a little description. Were you interested in getting more information, or were you just here to show me love and support? Keep it simple like that, because then it kind of puts the ball in their court. All right. But you're still showing them that you are acknowledging them and that they were there supporting. And so you're reaching out and thanking them, and then just asking them if they're interested or not, basically.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. No problem. And taking those little steps will get to where you eventually you're like, okay, you're watching my story, I'm inviting you. If you're watching me, I know something is going on in there.
Right.
I do that anyways. Everybody who likes and comments, I don't care if I've messaged them a million times in the past, they're going to get a message from me. Just how it is. Yeah. Oh, girl, I'm just showing you all the love. I just love everything you do. Oh, thank you so much for the love. Keep showing the love,
Yeah. In 5 years, I've maybe had 10 or 15 people say, please don't message me anymore. And it's like every once in like a blue moon does that happen. But I'm like, okay, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate you getting back to me.
Right.
Heart emoji. I'm like, you ain't gonna stop me. I'm still gonna keep showing up.
Right. Kill them with kindness too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Well, hopefully this was helpful. It's been crazy week, crazy year.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're already into June. How crazy is that?
One more day of school, and I'm done. So excited.
I have a quick comment. I know Elena was talking about having someone take a peek. Okay, apparently I'm talking too loud for my audience over here. I would like to just kind of put it out there for you, Courtney, to take a peek and give me your truth, your tough love, and just, there are some changes in my life, and they are going to be turned into something positive. And so I just want you to take a look at it for me and just, give me some pointers or tell me what it is that I need to change, and then I can get working on that. So the hard, tough love.
It's my forte.
Mm-hmm.
Will do.
Yeah, it really is good to get an outside eye every once in a while, because when we're just going one post at a time, sometimes our mind gets jumbled. There, that's what I was looking for. I kept thinking joggled, and I was like, that's not even.
Boggles, maybe? Boggles?
Yeah, between boggled and jumbled. Anyway, so sometimes it's good to get that other set of eyes for some constructive criticism.
Totally. Well, cool. This was good, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us in this crazy time.